Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, it's the old captain here, and we got another video request, and this is kind of an interesting one. Dear asshole, I recently found your channel, love your stuff, was hoping you can make a video addressing this dilemma of mine. I'm a 21-year-old female, raised feminist, but being a kid who questions things, I removed my own brainwashing by age 19. Sadly, I've already chosen my path in life. I'm halfway through an expensive college that will result in me working in a very lucrative profession in the medical field in 4 years. I'll be able to out-earn most of my age mates, yet all I want in life is to be submissive to a man, to be a housewife, and a mother. So I was hoping you can address this issue of what the smartest profession choice is for girls like me. Should we even consider our wishes of having a traditional family when choosing a career, considering the feminist influence reducing the number of traditional men? As for me specifically, I have a family. How do you recommend I utilize my diploma from that point on? Well, if I have a family, how do you recommend I utilize my diploma from that point on? I won't want to be a burden to my husband or my children because of a white coat. Thank you. I had her send me a picture because this is very important. If you are ugly, and this is just true, if you want to be lied to, Oprah and Vogue magazine, all that shit over at the checkout lane is all available to you girls. All right, but if you want the truth, here's the truth. I asked her to send me a picture of her because if she was ugly or fat and was not going to do anything about it, that she's not going to diet, then you may as well go and become a doctor or an engineer, pursue your career, because it's not that it's impossible to find a husband, but you definitely lower your chances of finding someone if you're overweight and physically unattractive. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Now, she sent me a picture, and she is not fat or unattractive. She's actually quite cute. And I will tell you this before I move on to your thing. To be direct and blunt, you need a makeover. You don't wear makeup. You have a very pretty face. And probably due to the influence of your feminist mother, you either have not done a makeover, you don't use makeup. I'm not saying put it on with a spray painter, but definitely do go into a salonist or a makeup expert and see what they recommend. Because I'm just a little touch and you would be Shazam, just spank. And so that's going to go a long way in attracting better looking men that make more money, more stable men, and increase your chances of a more stable nuclear family. Now, we had a little side discussion, but for women in general who want to go and become a doctor or a dentist or something like that, or have a career, yeah, you're going to have to make a choice. Do you want to have a family or do you want to have a career? Now, you can have both, but it's not the way that the feminists tell you, where it's all at the same time. You could be mother, wife, doctor, surgeon, astronaut, all at the same time. Usually what you should do, you have kids during the years that it is healthiest and safest for you to have kids, which is biologically from 16 on to about 30, 32. But of course, you don't want to have kids at 16. So if you want to have a family, if you want to raise kids, and you want to be dominated by a guy, which most women genetically programmed do, I'm not talking bondage or go-go, but you just want the man to be the man. That's perfectly normal. It's perfectly all right. But admit that, and then say you want a family. Then, after the kids are like, your youngest kid is now going to school, that's when you start your career. You've raised your children from 0 to 5. They're now in kindergarten. Then you go to school, and then you start your career. Okay, but you don't do both at the same time. Your kids, once you have kids, that's your fucking responsibility. And it doesn't even have to be the woman that stays home. Somebody better stay home with those fucking kids. So the husband or the wife, I don't care who's somebody. But typically, if you want to be the stay-at-home wife, then you would be, by default, the one that stays at home. So you stay at home, raise your kids up until they're 5, and, let's say you have kids by the age of 23, 24, 25, you have 3 kids, the latest ones you spit out when you're 26, add 5 years, you're 31. You're still young, and you can still go to college, and you can still become a dentist or a doctor or whatever else, an engineer. And then you can always work part-time, and then as the kids get older and older, and they're gonna, like you guys, like everyone, they don't want to hang out with their square parents, they want to hang out with their friends, and then you'll be able to start having a career again. But seriously, if you're going to have kids, you have a biological window you have to adhere to. That's not debatable, it's not political, it's science, it's biology. And that should lay forth the rest of your planning down the road. Now, in your particular case, and I think women can do this if you're doctors or dentists, is if you are some highly paid trade, it's still a trade, is you can scale how much you want to work. And it would still be worth it even working part-time. My dentist is a female, and she only works part-time because she doesn't want to work anymore. And her husband, he's the assistant, and it's a very wonderful, loving relationship. And yeah, absolutely, become a dentist, become a doctor, do what you want to do. It can only help. But the other thing is they also don't have kids. Well, they did have a kid, but he's 18 now, he's up and grown up. But with being a dentist or a doctor where you are charging $200 to $300 an hour, you only have to work 4 hours a day, 4 days, 3 days a week, and you're set. So I would not let the fact that you want to become a dentist stop you from having a family. I may wait before you go to dental school, like maybe stretch out your education a little bit, your undergrad, before you go on to dental school. Raise your kids, have a family, or you know what, you could become a dentist, because unless you got a guy that you're thinking about marrying right now, I would go get your degree, go into dental school. If you find the guy, say, hey, I want to have family, I'm willing to scale back my career. Maybe you might have to go back and do some retraining, that's fine, but then you could always be a dentist. But remember, the number one thing in life, the number one source of happiness is not your job or being a dentist. It certainly can bring you happiness. The number one source is going to be people, humans in your life. And usually the most important people, the number one source of happiness is your family. Your husband, for men, your spouse, your wife, and your children. So put them first. And make sure that the dentist office works for you and your family, not the other way around. And you'll be way happier than any feminist, seriously. I'm sorry you had to go through that with your mom, but it's good to see some independent mindedness, that you actually are starting to think on your own. But I think everyone wins in this, even the feminists would, well, they'd be pissed off that you dared to put a family first and not your career and your dentistry ahead of biology and reality. But you can have it both. You just got to do the timing right. So anyway, best of luck. I don't think you're going to, but yes, definitely. You know what? Do me a favor. We'll do it before and after. I'd love to see if you went in, spent the $50 to get a makeover, and have them teach you how to do makeup and whatever. I don't know what your attire looks like. I'm not going to be a fashion consultant, but you have a very, very cute face. You need to use makeup, though. Every girl does. Don't worry. It's not you. So, anyway, best of luck. Hope that helps too. So.